Yo, JD here, Torolimus, and as you can see by this video today, this is going to be a classic car gameplay round Silverstone, the full track, running pretty much a default setup apart from changing the wings and ballast. Definitely find running 11 ballast is pretty useful in these cars, but today, after finding this footage, this is a really epic race. I did pretty much starting last, and we have quite a few good drivers in here as well, so it was a pretty intense race, drove really well. And this car, the Reynolds William 92 Reynolds William and the Ferrari F2004 are probably my favourite cars in the game, and I'll be talking about why. And personally, from driving this both on the pad, the controller and the wheel, I actually prefer the classic cars to the normal F1 2017 cars, and the reason for that is because I can just feel the car so much more in these, and I don't know if that's how it's meant to be. Something I'd really be interested to hear, especially from wheel users in their normal cars, the F1 2017 cars, because for me at high speed, I've got some pretty good wheel settings now where I can really feel the car very well. High speed change direction, I can catch the oversteer quite well, but at low speed, like coming off hairpins or corners just like this one before this, it's very hard to predict when the car is actually going to spin out or oversteer. And some people have said that's because it's power steering and that's how it is, it's so easy to drive, which may be the complete case as to the reason why that is. But the one thing I would say the pad definitely has an advantage over is that you're able to feel the car on traction, because when you're actually accelerating and the tyres are gripping up against the track, you can actually feel it in the rumble strip on your finger, whereas in the brake pedal or like on the pedals themselves you don't have a vibration, and through the wheel you can't really feel anything. So it makes it kind of a guessing game when you're meant to catch the oversteer. You kind of have to pre-turn into it really before it even happens. I know that sounds silly, but that's how it kind of feels. So if that's just me, then just tell me, or if that's just the game or the force feedback settings itself, which apparently it is, then I'll be really interested to hear what you think of that. But also I want to also hear is, do you feel classic cars should come back for 2018? Because for me personally, I have no idea if they're planning to do that, and I feel the delivery of the classic cars on this occasion compared to F1 2013 was just so much better. The cars feel so much better. I know a lot of people complain about the looks, that they don't really match. Maybe taking the Ferrari for example, it doesn't match exactly what it looks like in real life, but there's limitations in that, I believe. But for me, I really just care about how it actually feels, and this car here feels just absolutely incredible because it's quite difficult on traction, very difficult on braking, and it forces you to downshift very slowly, which is probably a good thing for me, because I know people say always spam down the gears, but it just feels so much more satisfying to drive than just the modern cars. That's how I feel. I much prefer to drive these both on the pad and the wheel, especially the wheel. The wheel on this feels like it was made for this. It was made for the classic cars themselves. And I'm just really interested to know how you feel they could improve it for the next game. What kind of features do you think they should add? Do you think they should add focus more on the classic cars? Try and make it more friendly for like online lobbies? Maybe having like I don't know, instead of just a custom lobby to modern, maybe just a certain section just purely just for classic car races. Do like a sprint mode for classic car races, or you know what I mean, that kind of feature where it's just very easy rather than just set up a lobby and just have it to manually do it yourself. But one thing I would say that they could probably do, as I punch my mic, is for the leaderboards on classic cars, because at the moment it's literally whatever the fastest time you've done is the time that shows on the leaderboard. So it's always going to be in the Ferrari F2004, or it's going to be the Red Bull RB6, 2010 RB6, rather than just individually. And I think if they did it individually, that would definitely promote people to play it a lot more, in my opinion. I think that's probably a pretty easy fix to do. But I'll be doing another video soon on, I think I already did a video on like game ideas, but I'll probably be doing another video on just a review of this game really, 2017, what I really liked about it and some of the stuff I really didn't like about it. I'm end of the year kind of review, or not end of the year, no, near the end-ish of the life cycle of the game, even though it's January already, as depressing that is, but I'll be doing a video on that pretty soon. But I'm just really interested to hear how your experience of the classic cars have been. What's your favourite one? What you can feel can be improved, and what you'd like to see next game. And do you think that's something they should continue? Because, as I said, I felt with 2013, it was kind of just thrown in there as just like a USP, unique selling point of just saying, oh yeah, we've included classic cars now, but it didn't really feel like anyone really used them, and it didn't feel amazing in that game. But in this one, I feel it was a really big, attraction of buying this game, and people do use it definitely more in 2013, but I'd definitely like people to see, to get a lot more into it than what I've seen. So I just want to know your experience. Do you feel it should still be included? Any recommendations or anything like that? Because I'm always just interested to hear. I love reading comments and just seeing what all the theories, what people put, or just the ideas that people put on my 2018 video. That was really, really good to read, and I just kind of like having a discussion. Really, I just don't really even plan this before coming to this video. I just kind of just talk of just my feelings on it, and then I just want to hear what you think on it as well. But I'll probably leave you this gameplay now, which was a pretty good race. I think we started in I think there was 16 people at the start. I think we started in 15 out of 16. And you know what, actually we're going to stay on board. We only got one lap left to go, as this guy called Bartek ahead of us. So he managed to overtake ESR Maze, who's pretty quick. And now this guy as well, I think he's in ESR as well, Elite Sim Racing. And this car is probably my fastest car in the classics. I just absolutely just love this so much, because you just got to be so committed and precise, and if you just leave anything on the table, you're definitely going to get punished for it. So coming in to now the penultimate corner here, trying to get a good exit off here, trying to keep it in relatively high gears all the time, going up to 6 gears only, so we set the quickest lap. So we've got 1 lap left to overtake this guy, and we've got to pick our moment pretty nicely. So we're going to come through turn 2 here, so he leaves the door open, so we're going to go down the inside, but it's a really long braking distance, so we've got to brake super early, let him go in deep, go in for the switchback early on the throttle. He tries to close the door, but we managed to get past him, and that's us into P1 after doing some quite nice moves, quite nice navigation throughout the field. He's coming back past us again, so we're going to try and spot the braking point, just still around about the 100 meter ball, but just keep managing to keep it round here. But just got to really secure this as someone is waiting. So I was really hoping that this person would not take me out, because if they did, I would be too happy. But I think he's probably waiting for someone else, so as long as it's not me as the lobby, or as the host of this lobby, then that's absolutely fine. But coming through Magnus and Beckett's now, you just got to be just so precise. They're going just so much slower than what we would be. I think it's like 8 or 9 seconds slower. I think we do 28s in like the modern cars, so 37s here. Yeah, it's about 9 or so seconds slower than that. So coming in at the end of the hangar straight, braking as late as possible, trying to do early apex in these cars, because you want to carry as much speed as possible coming through here. But also, as I said, still thinking about doing this league. I'm thinking how I'm setting up. I'll probably do the same number of races for how many ever cars there are. So I think it's like 16 cars, so 16 rounds, 25 or 50%. That's something I need to think about. But I'm also in the process of selecting the people who I'd be interested, who I feel would be good at doing this as well. And maybe even talk of AOR to try and make it an official AOR league. But for me, it would just be a lot of fun, because I really do enjoy driving these cars. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for the support as always, and I will catch you next time. Peace.